If you only chat with Claude, you're using one of its 4 levels, and the one you're on is the weakest. Skills, projects, agents. If those 3 words feel like marketing noise, you're not alone. Most people pay for Claude, open a chat window, and never touch the rest. Here's the plan. 4 levels, from the one you already know to the one that works while you sleep. 2 of them are just different places to type. The other 2 change what Claude actually is. By minute 8, you'll know exactly what each one does. And by the end, you'll know which level your work belongs on. Because the answer isn't the highest one. That surprised me too. Keep this real. We'll use one boring task the whole way through. A competitor pricing report. The kind of thing a manager builds every month from the same 5 websites and the same spreadsheet. We'll run it at every level and you'll watch the same task shrink. One warning before we climb. There's a level almost everyone skips. It's not the fancy one. And it's the one that saves the most time per minute spent learning it. That's coming at level 3. Quick story. Last month, a friend who runs a small agency showed me her Claude tab. 40 open conversations. The same instructions pasted at the top of each one. You're a marketing analyst, here's our tone, here's our format. Every single time. That's level 1. You type, Claude answers, the chat ends. Next task, you start over. For our pricing report, chat does work. You paste the data, describe the format, and you get a decent draft. The problem isn't quality. The problem is that tomorrow, Claude remembers none of it. Not your company, not your format, not the 5 competitors. You are the memory. You're doing the job of a feature that already exists. Chat is the right level for one-off questions. Draft an email, explain a contract clause, anything you'll never repeat. The moment you catch yourself pasting the same context twice, you've outgrown level 1. And here's the test that exposes it. Scroll your own Claude history right now. Look at the first message of your last 5 chats. If they all start with the same explanation of who you are, you're paying a tax. Not in money, in minutes, every single day, forever. That copy-paste tax is exactly what level 2 deletes. Watch what happens to those 40 tabs. Remember my friend with the 40 tabs? We sat down for 20 minutes and rebuilt her setup. When she opened Claude the next morning, her first message was 6 words long. The instructions she used to paste were just already there. That's a project. A room where Claude already knows your stuff. You make it once. You upload the files that matter, write the instructions once, and every chat inside that room starts preloaded. Here's our report at level 2. I create a project called Pricing Reports. Into it go the report template, last month's version, and 1 page of instructions. Which competitors, which currencies, what the summary should look like. Done once. Now the monthly job is 1 line. Run this month's report, here's the new data. No re-explaining. Every answer comes out in your format because the format lives in the room, not in your clipboard. The mental shift is simple. Stop thinking, what do I type? Start thinking, what should this room already know? Teams miss this because projects look like a filing feature. They're not storage, they're memory. What goes in the room? 3 things, and you probably have all of them open in tabs right now. The documents you keep reattaching, the example of what good output looks like, and the instructions you keep retyping. That's it. If you have those 3, the room builds itself in 10 minutes. And 1 room per topic, not 1 room for everything. A pricing room, a hiring room, a room per big client. The narrower the room, the sharper every answer inside it gets. A project still waits for you though. It knows your context, but you still drive every step. Which brings us to the level almost everyone skips, the one I promised. It's the difference between Claude knowing your stuff and Claude knowing your moves. When Anthropic's own engineers talk about how they use Claude, one idea keeps coming back. They don't write clever prompts, they save procedures. A skill sounds technical, but here's the honest translation. It's a folder with instructions for 1 repeatable task. That's it. A project remembers your stuff. A skill remembers how you do something. Step 1, step 2, step 3, what good output looks like, what to avoid. You teach it once. From then on, whenever a task matches, Claude pulls the procedure and follows it. You don't even have to ask. Our report becomes a skill in 10 minutes. I write the steps the way I'd explain them to a new assistant on their first day. Plain language, no code anywhere. Next month, I type 2 words, pricing report, and the whole procedure runs the same way it did last time. Same checks, same format. Nothing forgotten, because nothing depends on my memory. Why does everyone skip this level? Because the word sounds like it belongs to programmers. It doesn't. If you can write a checklist, you can write a skill. That's the whole entry fee. There's a quiet bonus here that nobody mentions. A skill is also how you stop being the bottleneck. The procedure used to live in your head, which meant every report needed you. Now it lives in a folder your whole team's Claude can follow. You go on vacation, the report still comes out right. Try doing that with a clever prompt in someone's chat history. So, projects are memory, skills are procedure. You'd think that's the ceiling, it's not even close. But before we get to level 4, the one where Claude stops waiting for you at all, take 2 seconds and subscribe. Every Tuesday, I break down one AI workflow like this. Real tasks, no code. Okay, level 4. Last week I gave Claude one sentence and left to make coffee. When I came back, it had opened the competitor files on my computer, run the comparison, flagged 2 price changes, and drafted the summary. I reviewed it and hit send. That's an agent. The first 3 levels answer you. This one works for you. Concretely, this lives in the Claude desktop app you already pay for. The agent mode there is called Cowork. You allow it specific folders, give it a goal, and it chains the steps itself. Reading files, comparing, writing results. You're not prompting each move. You set the destination and review what comes back. Here's our report at level 4. The skill from level 3 becomes the instruction manual. The agent becomes the worker that runs it end to end. New data lands in the folder, I say, run the monthly report, and my job shrinks to the only part that should need a human. Judgment. Did it get it right? And what do we do about those price changes? Notice what just happened across the 4 levels. The task never changed. The report is the same report. What changed is how much of it still needs to flow through your hands. That's the whole game. Now, the comment section under every agent video is full of one fear, and it's a fair one. I'm not giving an AI my whole computer. Correct. Don't. You choose which folders it can touch, and it asks before it acts. Give it a workspace folder, not your life. Treat it like a contractor on day 1. Scoped access, supervised, until it earns more. That one habit removes most of the real risk. What does day 1 with an agent actually look like? Small. You give it the pricing folder and nothing else. You watch it run the skill once, step by step, with you approving each action. The second run, you approve less. By the 4th run, you're just reading the result. That's not a compromise. That's exactly how you'd onboard a human, and it works for the same reason. So if agents can do all that, every task should live on level 4, right? No, and this is where most advice gets it wrong. A colleague of mine spent a weekend building an agent setup for a task he does 4 times a year. The setup took longer than a year of doing it by hand. Wrong level. The ladder isn't a ranking, it's a sorting tool. Here's the sort, and it takes 1 question per task. How often and how repeatable? One-off and unique? Level 1. Chat and move on. Recurring topic, same context, but the task itself changes? Level 2. That's client folders, ongoing products, anything with a same background, new question shape. Same steps every time? Level 3. Reports, briefs, weekly summaries, quality checks. If you could write the checklist, write the skill instead. And level 4 is for chains. Multi-step work where the steps are known, the volume is real, and your value is the review, not the typing. That's it. 4 levels, 1 question. Run your own week through that question and something uncomfortable shows up. Most of what eats your time is level 3 shaped. Same steps every week done by hand at level 1. Let me make that concrete with 3 jobs you'll recognize. A manager's Monday status report. Same structure weekly, that's a skill. A founder answering investor questions about an ongoing raise. Same context, new questions, that's a project. An ops person reconciling orders across 2 systems every day. Known chain, real volume, that's the agent. 3 different right answers and not one of them is just chat harder. Which means the fastest win isn't learning everything. It's moving 2 tasks 1 level up. Here's the way to do that by tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, before email, 15 minutes. Minute 1 to 5. Write down the 3 tasks you repeated last week. Don't optimize, just list them. Minute 5 to 10. Take the most context-heavy one and make it a project. Drop in the files you keep reattaching, write 5 lines of instructions. You just deleted your copy-paste tax. Minute 10 to 15. Take the most repetitive one and write it as a checklist, like you're handing it to a new assistant. That checklist is your first skill. Save it. Run it once to test. That's the entire on-ramp. No agents on day 1. Agents come after a skill has run cleanly a few times because a good agent is just a trusted procedure with its hands free. And if 15 minutes feels like too much, do only minute 1 to 5. The list alone changes how you see your week. Once you've seen a task as level 3 shaped, you can't unsee it. That itch is the whole engine. So, chat answers questions. Projects remember your context. Skills remember your procedures. Agents run them while you do the work only you can do. Same Claude, same subscription you already pay for. 4 levels and now you've seen all 4. That's the 1 of 4 from the first 7 seconds, closed. And the answer to which level should I be on turned out to be a sorting question, not a status question. 1 off, chat it. Same context, project it. Same steps, skill it. Known chain at volume, hand it to an agent and keep the judgment. The skipped level was number 3 all along, not because it's flashy, because a written procedure is the thing every level above and below gets cheaper with. A project without procedures is a smart room with no playbook. An agent without procedures is a fast worker with no training. Write the checklist once and both problems disappear. The 1 question sorting checklist from this video is in the description. Free, no email wall. Grab it, run your week through it, and tell me in the comments which task you're moving up a level first. I read all of them, and the best one becomes a full build video. If this untangled those 3 words for you, subscribe. Every Tuesday, 1 workflow, real numbers, no code. Next up, the video where I take that level 3 procedure and give it hands.